and take a good look at the s0s player camera here and see how did he play this game. Now he sends one probe to scout, so he probably wants to know if the turn is going for some serious cheese play, which is obviously very important to find out in time about. And he builds himself a pylon, a necessary thing to build. Attacks opponent's SUV. Now this works quite well because then the opponent is kind of forced to send multiple other SUVs, or at least one, to kind of kill off this probe. After that, he kind of harasses everything further, checks what's going on. I think that he's sent this probe just a little bit too early, because it shouldn't be there. Now, what can I say about the Special's build? It looks like Special is not blocking off his entry to the base, which is very strange why he would not do this. And that probe, as you can see, is continuously harassing the turn. Now, this is obvious that the turn is going to build himself a second command center, which means that the game is going to be very much economy focused, something that the Protoss could as well use, I guess, and use this by going for some very early aggression play. However, it seems that he's just gonna build himself a Stalker and not gonna go for any kind of 4 gateway opening cheese or anything like that. It seems that he even went for a Stargate, which is an indication of air units that will be used for harassment into worker lines. So if Special is not going to have any kind of anti-air defense, it's going to be really bad. Okay, that wasn't a Stargate just yet. In any case, he built himself a bunker instead of a barracks there to wall himself off. I think that's really awesome. That's probably how it should be, but obviously it's not necessary. Players tend to push out of the base with everything they have. Now it looks like Korean Reaper has arrived, and this Reaper can certainly do a lot of mess if it won't be catched easily. The Marines are on the way, and s0s is starting to build himself very powerful units now. And both players are focusing very much on economy and on some harassment efforts. s0s did some harassment with the probe and sent the Stalker. The Stalker was fought off by a bunch of Marines. And the Special decide to go for a Reaper harassment. Now that s0s has 2 bases built, he is going to move out with the drop, a very dangerous drop indeed, because he can use the unit to blow up quite a few SUVs here. Now these stalkers are going to be very different. Disruptor is very powerful. Oh, he using the disruptor decided not to kill the SCVs but targeted special units and only got a marine, unfortunately for him. The disruptor has the timing between shots. Oh, that's exactly how it had to be. However, special has a very good counter for that, and the counter is the Viking. Special decides to go for Liberator play here. However, this Liberator is going to be a completely disastrous move because he wasn't even able to do any kind of damage. He just got killed by traveling up forward there. Now the Viking is going to protect against the drops very easily. We know that Special has 2 bases that are set up. It's unclear if he has any more bases so far. And the Viking is down due to Stalker Assault, and this gives an opportunity for the War Prism to get more units out. But he kind of suspected that there's a mine probably there, because that mine was very well baited with the Stalker. Instead of nearly killing the War Prism, mine wouldn't kill a War Prism, but would leave it with like 1 health as far as I'm aware. Like 1 bar of health. Now once again that was a terrible disruptor hit. But this kind of disruptor assault play is absolutely incredible. No doubts about it. And you see these disruptor shots, they can kill off marines in great numbers. However, I think that they should be used to target harvesters for now, because marines are fast enough to run away. However, the tanks would never be able to run away. I think that Special is being sieged. Even if he has his own tanks, these disruptor shots are going to be much more effective than the tanks themselves would be otherwise. In any case, Special is being extremely defensive. Let's take a look if Special has another base. It looks like he doesn't have another base, while the Protoss player does in fact is expanding himself. Another thing is that Special is a lot weaker, I would say, due to high investment in the tanks. There isn't much that he can do. He's doing these drops, but these drops are not going to work that well actually. Because s0s forces are everywhere. They have to be like at the edges or have some kind of air units that would be able to shoot down passing by medivacs or any kind of air units that would be used for harassment purposes in the base. I think these disruptor drops is just extremely powerful play, and I think the only problem from a Special is that he doesn't have another Viking. You see that 1 Viking was so effective, it was able to do incredible damage to the War Prism. That Viking got caught by a bunch of stalkers, and Special decided not to build another one. He's just focusing on the ground army and is consistently being sieged himself while having the tanks. Now s0s Observer is continuously being caught and destroyed. Okay, we see that Special is expanding further, and finally there's going to be a nice hit, but not in the SUV's side. However, Special is making his own drop, and it looks like the drop is going to be countered by Warped in zealots. I think that the fact that these units can be warped in close to bases makes Protoss extremely powerful if there are units available and money available to be warped in. Now here, Special is trying to bait in s0s forces so that the tanks would shoot. However, s0s is being attacked while being at home, so he has to be on the move, and Special is being attacked in his third base while he has to be on the move, and s0s is not going to be baited. Not yet. Now it's finally baited into the line, and the tanks are not strong enough to win this. Could you believe that the tanks are shooting with everything they've got and they can't win this? It seems that that's the case, and Special has lost it. Special has lost its force in the face with everything it got. It looks like Special just wasn't able to successfully see the outcome of this battle. Now, obviously, we can take a look at the battle again and try to kind of determine this ourselves. So let's take a look at all the forces. So what do we have here? We have 6 tanks and quite a few marauders, quite a few marines, supported by quite a few medevacs, and there are more marines coming as reinforcements. It's 10 minutes 20, there is 1 attack upgrade, while the Protoss doesn't have attack armor upgrades. And we move into the battle. The tanks will soon be sieged. The reinforcements are here. It looks like most of the forces are here. All the tanks are shooting right now. However, even with all those tanks shooting and Marauder shooting, some of the units are not stimmed. Okay, it looks like they're stimmed now. And yeah, they're stimmed, and it looks like the turn in this scenario was just simply too weak. And that's it. It looks like the game has evolved towards a one-time fight, and s0s has prevailed.